Hi family, I'm Marshall Sade and I have a word for you today. Okay, so I just finished reading this book called The New Earth, um, and I'll show you the book in just a minute. But yeah, in the book it's so deep, man. It's talking about how to recognize when you are dealing with someone that is operating in their ego. If someone is being impatient, operating in a place of jealousy, if they are being a narcissist, if they are coming from a place of like irritable, um, envy, I mean the list goes on. All of these things that are of the ego. What do you do? Like, especially whenever you come across, you know, relationships that are dear to you, like your best friend or your mom or your sibling, or even in, a personal relationship that you're dealing with. How do you deal with this ego? And in the book, it was teaching me something very valuable. You deal with the ego in a way of, for one, not reacting to the ego in a negative way. So once you realize that, oh, wait, this person is responding to me with their ego, you then become conscious and you remain conscious and you do not react in a negative way. Why? Because if you react in a negative way, you are feeding their ego. Now, I didn't know this. I felt like because, if I'm, you know, explaining to this person. Now, it's a difference between complaining and actually, explaining to this person what what you don't like and things like that. It's two different things. You don't want to complain to the ego. The ego, that is feeding the ego. You state the facts in how you are feeling so that that person is aware of, how that is affecting you. And then you remain conscious and don't overreact in a negative way, especially. Because all that's going to do is feed the ego more. You remain conscious, and by you remaining conscious, that then almost reminds the ego within the other person. It reminds them of sanity. And that made so much sense to me when I read that because I was like, oh, wow, okay. So it's almost like you have to gain control and come back to one with yourself and get back to the I am way. And because I believe Jesus said this, I am the way and the way of life. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's something about that or something within that. But I'm gonna I'm gonna look that up and get you that actual quote. This is the book. Amazing book, life changing book. And it says, the very being that you are is truth. Jesus tried to convey that when he said, I am the way and the truth and the life. These words uttered by Jesus are the ones of the most powerful and direct pointers to the truth if understood correctly. But get back into consciousness that I am. Like, we can't forget about our being one with our being and allowing the ego to get involved into our life, and that is how relationships are ruined because of an. So I say all that to say to always remain conscious and ignore the ego. Always stand up for yourself and state the facts, but never feed into the ego. Okay, guys, so that's all I have for you today. And you already know I love you guys. It's all love. LOHV.